One day I got angry and I just ripped the bed out and cut it into firewood. I think it saved my life. What I like about the boat is that it's mine and no man can take it off of me.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Alternative House channel. Today I met Rachel and she's living on this 38-foot long narrowboat, which seems like still under construction.
Yeah.
You have some part of kitchen outside there.
Don't look at the kitchen. Work in progress.
So you're moored in marina, but you still have solar panels and stuff.
Yeah, I'm moored in a marina at the moment. I'm leaving in a few weeks.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. But I've been here while I've been sorting everything out and getting used to it as well because I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, I've got solar panels and yeah, the rest of it you'll see, I guess.
Right. So you can be off the grid.
Yeah. And that's what I'm kind of prepping it for. I'm trying to get it as close to that as possible. So there's been lots of changes.
And how long have you been on
Since, I bought it in August 25. Soon it'll be 1 year, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, let's have a look inside.
All right, let me just grab the dog. Okay, welcome to my little home. This used to be my bedroom.
Okay.
And
so you bought it was bedroom in the...
Yeah, there was a bed here and there was a wardrobe here. And one day I got angry and I just ripped the bed out and cut it into firewood and burn it. It kept me going for a couple of weeks. And then I discovered I need to do something with the space and also I need a bed. So yeah, that's been my project since. So I decided to build my kitchen down here. I've had some help, but I've done most of it myself. Or there's been people that have shown me. They've said, look, let me show you how to do it. Here's the tools, here's the drill, whatever. And then they've guided me a little bit, but I've done it and it's still in progress.
Okay.
So yeah, a few unfinished bits.
But it's working.
It's getting there.
Yeah. So you got the standard kitchen.
Gas
stove,
oh, this needs to clean. Look at that. Yeah, this is new. I saved up for this. This took me a while.
Okay.
Doing everything on a budget. But yeah, I got this. That come through. It wouldn't fit through the gap here because of all of these panel bits. I couldn't get them off. So we had to get it through the duck hatch on the side. But yeah, normal grill and everything for cheese on toast.
Nice.
Which is all I really wanted.
Yeah.
Was a grill.
So, and you have gas on the board?
Yeah, so I've got a gas locker at the back. That one there you can see is my spare gas bottle, but I've got a locker underneath which runs through to here. And then my water comes from that end of the boat. So it's a bit all over the place.
And that is the engine?
This is the engine. That got serviced. I've learned how to do it, but I'm not confident doing it by myself. But that's the engine there.
So, and you bought the boat. Did you check everything, how it worked?
No. No, I didn't check anything because I was in a bit of a panic. I didn't have anywhere to live. And just in kind of like a mad panic, I thought, do you know what? Just get me something, anything. At that point, anything would do. I wanted something that I could have the dog with because I was being offered places to live, but I couldn't have the dog. I thought, that's not really an option then, is it?
But you moved out of some apartment? Or...
yeah, let's just say yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I
escaped some relationship.
It was like sudden and quite scary, quite frightening. And we didn't have anywhere to live and I just sort of grabbed her and legged it basically. And I'm grateful that I did. It's a happy decision, but a frightening one at the time, you know?
So, and then there were other options like van or something? Or...
So there was the women's refuge was one option, but they wanted to house me miles away from my friends and family, obviously for that refuge safety aspect. But also I couldn't have the dog, so I didn't like that idea. There wasn't any other choices that I could see. I mean, yes, there was friends and family. I could stay on their sofa or something, but long term, these weren't good options. I didn't think of land or anything else alternative in that sense. I'd had a few narrowboat holidays and I was looking into narrowboats anyway, just as like my part-time hobby. I always felt like that's where I would end up. I just didn't expect it to happen then. It was a bit like, oh goodness, okay, I'm doing it now. Okay. Yeah.
And this was the first boat you viewed, or
No, I viewed a couple, but my budget was tight. So it was like beggars can't be choosers. I had to be, you know, within my budget. And I knew I wanted to be here, like in the safety of the marina at first, just while I understood, because I didn't know anything, really nothing. So it's worked really well spending the first, what's it been, about 9 months here, while I did everything and learned what the hell boat life is all about. And then now I'm getting like ready to go.
right? And I guess that's as well good therapy, like being
Really good.
busy.
Yeah.
is
Oh
something.
man, I think it saved my life. I do think it saved my life. Yeah. Yeah. And do you know what's been lovely is like being on the marina, I have gotten to know other people. And what's been nice is they've been the same people on a daily basis. You do get to know your neighbours. And while everything in my life felt so chaotic and so up and down, it was really nice that became stable, and it gave me just a sense of safety.
Right.
Now I'm ready to sort of move and shift and have different neighbours and meet new people. And, you know, I don't need that stability so much now. But at the time, with what we'd been through, it was just what we needed. Yeah. So yeah, a bit of therapy.
Nice.
Yeah, it's done us good.
And so yeah, basically basic kitchen. You got a water filter.
Yeah. Filter all the fluoride and all the crap out of me tap water. That's a 12-volt fridge.
100 liters.
Yeah, it's tiny. Just literally your milk and your cheese and that's it. This door is stupid. It doesn't even cover the toilet. So if you have friends around, you have to really be comfortable with them, because there's no privacy on my boat at all. It's just here for show. I
So
think.
it's not closing, like
Not properly, no. Like there's a gap either side.
okay.
But you know,
It's too short.
yeah, it's too short.
Okay, interesting. But you always change it so you have
Yeah, and I don't mind. I mean, whoever I have on my boat, I have to really like them. I'm very fussy who I allow on. It's such a personal, small space. You don't just let random people. It's people that you trust anyway.
So you have composting loo.
Yes, yeah, composting loo in there, and just a little sink for doing your teeth and mirror for makeup, and that's it.
And the shower and the bathtub.
Yeah, I've never had a bath.
Yeah.
And the shower's ridiculous. I mean, hang on. Oh, I hang all my laundry's hanging up in there. But the shower's ridiculous like that. I mean, I don't know who could even stand under that. A very small person.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
I can
you
just
have no handle shower.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so
Okay.
you have to stand behind that.
Yeah.
Stand behind it and use the handle.
Yeah. But it looks cute.
It does look cute, yeah.
And this is just a hatch to open. There is
This
no
is
window.
a hatch to go out,
Yeah.
But this one I sealed up because it was leaking.
Okay.
So this one at the moment is sealed. This one opens as well, which I can open. This is like the living, sleeping area. Again, it's
so you remove the bedroom and opted the living room into sleeping room.
Well, at the moment I sleep on the sofa. So it's not ideal. My plan is to build a bed here and put storage underneath and everything. But yes, I'm not there yet. There's too many other things to do.
So it's a big project.
Very big. For me, I mean, I've never done DIY, really. So
you never built anything before?
No, not confidently.
Yeah.
So I'm learning. And I've had help. Like I've got lovely people that help and support me. So I'm not by myself.
So you said you bought this boat very quickly, so you didn't do any inspection and anything on it, and
No, I disregarded all of the advice and just went with my gut feeling.
And was it good? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There was no like nasty surprises. There's a few things that, maybe a couple of little surprises. Like when I pulled out the bed, I discovered there was a lot of water underneath and the floorboards were rotten. So that just slowed me down a bit. I had to sell some jewelry to buy the flooring and just financially, when you're doing something tight and then you discover a new problem, it's like, but it was fine. Like I did it. And yeah, I think the boat's been especially what I've paid for it, I think it's been brilliant.
Yeah. How much was it?
26.5, and then I fitted the solar panels, and I could sell it for more than that. I've increased its worth, and I'm really proud of that.
So solar panels were not there, batteries and everything.
Yeah. So it had batteries, but the boat previously, I think, was just designed to live in the marina and never leave. I don't think it was used as a boat, but I want to use it as a boat. So I've had to change things to make it more. Like even the fridge, the old fridge drew lots of power. So it's great when you're plugged in to the mains, but when you start cruising, it's going to drain your batteries real fast. So I had to just make a few adjustments.
And you have some nice fireplace running, super warm at the moment inside.
Yeah, but it's nice, though, isn't it? So even with that, when I moved in, the glass was cracked, the rope needed replacing, and it needed sweeping. And these are actually quite basic things to do, but they weren't basic for me because I had never done them before. So the first time round, it was learning all of that, like figuring out what to do, how to do it. And I just cracked on and I figured it out and watched some YouTube videos and got some advice. And now I don't feel scared of doing those things. But the first time you do anything, it is scary. And I didn't know. I've always had central heating, mostly. So it's all like getting used to something fresh.
And I think that was a good idea to move bedroom here because now when you sleep, it's warm. Yeah.
Yes, that was the other reason, because down there it's cold and my clothes, like even when you get dressed in the morning, like your jeans felt cold and damp. I thought, oh no, I can't. No. They're nice and warm now.
Yeah.
And like when I build the bed, I'm going to maybe get a smaller sofa and build a bed sort of here.
Right.
And it will be nice and warm. I was technically homeless for a bit, but I slept on sofas and a bit here and a bit there, just for a few weeks. It wasn't too bad.
And have you been cruising already?
Yes, I take her out every now and then.
And it goes well?
Yeah.
But you mentioned you have been on holidays, so you knew already.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm not skilled at driving a boat, but I'm managing. Yeah. I haven't killed anybody yet. But I will go down. I spent a few days around here, just locally. One of the hardest things to get used to, especially when you've been in a marina, is you get so used to being spoiled with the electricity, the showers, everything, water whenever you like. So you don't really know how you'll manage until you go.
Yeah.
So I've had like a few times where I've just gone and spent a bit of time out and just figuring out how much battery usage I'm using and just getting a feel for it.
There is like big service, like you have to take it out at some point coming as well?
Yeah, I think, mine's been blacked. So the bottom's been painted every sort of 4 or 5 years. That needs doing. So I'm okay for a while.
Okay.
But yeah, you do have to keep on top of that and take it to like one of the places where they'll like either crane it out, or I think it's better if they have the trucks that will, what's it, like a tractor? But it will come and sort of pull you out a bit more gently. I don't know about craning. I don't like the idea of it swinging around.
What do you think compared, like you lived in an apartment or in the house before?
Yeah, I was in I hated it. It was a 2-bedroom new build and everything was neat and tidy and clean and fresh and new. But it just felt like my soul was just shriveling up because it's not me. I've always enjoyed like living in sort of like slightly quirky places or something with just a bit of life and character in it. So whilst it was nice because everything worked, it's not me. I've lived all over. I've lived in the past I've lived in a tent. Okay. That was weird. That was fun.
Like in a tipi tent?
No, just in a 2-man tent. Lived in a tent in Greece when I was younger. Lived in various funny little places when I've travelled. And also I just grew up in a normal house, like a 4-bedroom terrace house, normal parents. But even when I was a kid, I spent more time in the garden. In the Wendy house, we had like a little wooden cabin, only tiny, it was like 6x4. But I would camp out there all summer and Mum and Dad would be like, is she okay? I just loved it. So I've always enjoyed not living normally. I don't think normal works for me.
Yeah, regular.
And I don't want to sound like all gushy and stuff, but I think it has kind of saved me a little bit because life was not good and I'd lost both my parents. And then I had a sort of other difficult situation that took place as well. and everything just felt like, my life felt like it was sand just slipping through my hands. I could not grip hold of anything that would stay. And what I like about the boat is that it's mine, first of all, and no man can take it off of me. Like, there's no person that can say, get out, you're not wanted anymore, because it's mine. But the second thing is, if I want to travel, it can come with me. So that stability comes with me wherever I want to go, you know, and it feels safe. You know, I love it. I've felt safer here than I have in probably all of my adult life. I love it, and it's so pretty. I'm actually a trained potter. That's what I'm supposed to do. Years ago, I ran a pottery business teaching pottery and making and selling pottery. So I've got my little studio at the front there. I mean, it's tiny.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I should be doing to make some money. But I just take life pretty easy at the moment, and I don't worry too much.
What is must to be paid every month?
I would say, like, if you're staying in the marina here, it's about £400. Like I say, I'm going to go soon, so that will stop. Your licence is about 120 a month. So this is monthly. I get through like one gas bottle every 4 months. So that works out about 10 a month on gas. Coal, because I'm a little bit of a princess when it comes to feeling cold. So over winter, yeah, logs and coal I probably use more than most people because I'm just a bit fussy. No council tax. Solar panels do on my electrics.
So, but overall, it's like must be paid around 600 a month,
Yeah.
and without marine it will be 200.
Yeah,
So it's like super affordable, and
Yeah.
you can even go and park in London.
exactly. There's always little bits and bobs that need doing, and especially on this, because I bought a bit of a cheap boat. So there's going to be so much more that needs doing on this. If you have the money to go and buy something fancier, you've got less work to do, right? But I'm getting to the end of the big, scary jobs. I don't want to say that too loudly in case something drastically goes wrong now. Yeah, I think if I was to actually save a little bit each month and be sensible about this, I'm trying to tell myself to do this now. Yeah, that's a wise thing to do. And then when it comes to it, you've got the money, you just...
Right.
But yeah, day-to-day living, very cheap. And funny enough, like, I get quite a lot of meals delivered to me just through other boat neighbours. So I don't spend that much on food. Like, people feed me a little bit, you know, because my neighbour here, Dave, he's lovely and he's a good cook. He'll just text me like, hey, I'm doing a curry, do you want some? I'm like, yes, please. And then my hatch will open and just dinner gets delivered, you know. So because of that sort of community spirit, I think I've saved quite a bit on food. and then when I do something, I'll text and share it as well. So you will just share. It's really nice. Yeah, it's a nice way of doing things, I think. We kind of like share skills as well as food. So I might go and do a day's work for somebody or help them out with something. And they'll, at some point, either return the favour to me or they'll pay it forwards to someone else. But yeah, we do less money and more sharing, I'd say, which is...
Like in old days. Nice.
Yeah, lovely community.
What do you do about laundry?
I normally take it to friends and family, or like, you know, there are places you can just pay to get it
Like
done.
laundromat.
Yeah.
Right.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
But some of them have actually got really big drums, so you can do almost a double load. So yeah, you just make it work.
Yeah.
Or you wash it in the shower.